everybody, this is Nolan here, and welcome back to another episode of DDLC Plus, and welcome aboard my arc. In the last episode, we just did Trust Part 1, which is a side story, and in this episode, we're going to be doing Trust Part 2, so, yeah, let's get into it. But yes, let's begin side story. Here we go, and I also changed my home screen to Monica. Alright, another day passes in a flash, and it's already time for the next club meeting. So, basically what happened was, it's just like a prequel. All these side stories are like a prequel. And, basically, Monica started the club, obviously, and then Sayori joined, and yeah, and they've been trying to get other people to join too. And they're starting to formulate this literature club. Anyway, another day passes in a flash, it's already time for the next club meeting. Although Monica should have come up with a plan for today's club tasks, she hasn't been able to shake her guilt and anxiety after reading Sayori's poem. I'm so stupid. How did I let myself be to the center of attention? Sayori's going through all these kinds of feelings, and I'm letting her comfort me instead of the other way around. What kind of club president does that? This whole time I didn't think to ask about her own feelings. So much of the stupid vision. For the stupid vision, Sayori enters the clubroom with her usual smile. But upon seeing the downcast Monica, her smile quickly fades into an expression of concern. Monica? Is everything okay? Oh yeah, I'm fine. I'm really sorry. I'm such a terrible friend. Huh? What are you talking about? You're an amazing friend. Monica shakes her head. I made this all by myself. Even you said so already. You told me that I'm trying to make the club that I need the most, right? But my problems are so trivial compared to yours. Sayori responds quietly. What are you talking about? But as she says that, her face darkens. Through the silence, Sayori mutters her realization. I left my folder here. Monica stares blankly ahead, unable to come up with a response. I wasn't ready to share those. Now you're worrying about me. I don't want that. But why? We're friends, right? Wordlessly, Sayori nods. Friends look out for each other. I want to be here for you as much as you're here for me. Another long moment passes in silence. The air is incredibly heavy. This is different. It wasn't just about you yesterday. It was about the club. Besides, things were so happy yesterday. You don't need to do this all of a sudden. I don't want it. I like happy. So, then why did you commit suicide if you like happy? That's a lie. Just kidding, I know Monica made you do it. If you do this, then you're just being selfish. Monica massages your forehead, struggling through the frustration of such a paradox. It's understandable that Sayori isn't ready to share certain things. But, as unfair as it is for Monica to pry, it's also painful for Monica to force herself to ignore the needs of her friend. I'm sorry I looked. I disrespected your privacy. No, I don't blame you for looking. You would have at least needed to check if it was mine. Yeah. Monica takes a deep breath. Okay. I understand that you don't want me to worry. But I think I'll be able to put this aside so that we can move on. But can you promise me something? Promise you what? Monica pauses to collect her thoughts. This is the literature club. It's a place where people can express themselves in the ways that life normally doesn't allow them to. That's the vision. In fact, it's our vision. Write the way into your heart or whatever. So, I just want you to promise me that you'll remember that too. It doesn't have to be right now, but I want to be here for you when you need it. I want us to be ourselves like that. Sayori smiles gently. I'll promise if you promise. Unable to help it, Monica returns Sayori's smile. I promise. Me too. As the conversation closes, the mood in the room is lifted. With that behind them, it's time to proceed with the club activities. So, want to teach me about poetry? Huh? But what about recruitment? It's fine, we have plenty of time for that. But right now, I feel like I want to do this. I mean, I do have to fulfill my end of the promise, you know? There's no way I could say no to that. Just don't expect much. I do a lot of writing, but it's not like I'm a scholar or anything. That's fine. I think I just need, like, some motivation. I never know where to start when it comes to writing poems. This is such a vibe, dude, this music. It's such a vibe. Hold up. Starting isn't so hard. You just need to write down your feelings and see where it takes you. Yeah, but that wouldn't come out any good. It's not supposed to. You're gonna have to fight. You are going to have to fight your perfectionist mind on this one. But you can just start by writing your feelings and see what kinds of things it makes you think of. And then you can turn your feelings into a little story. And that is how her song is made. That's how her song is made. Her jealous song. Every day I imagine a future where I can be with you. Yeah. That's how her song is made. This is totally, yeah. You can get your feelings down first and then make it sound pretty later. It's not like building a railroad where it's not like. Okay. It's not like building a railroad where you go from one end to the other. It's more like a collage where you find all the things you want to put in and then you arrange them in a pretty way. At least that's how I do it. It's not like it's the only way, but it's a really good way to not get stuck right at the beginning. I understand. Yeah, I always get so caught up in how it sounds when I forget about what's actually important. Monica pulls out a pen and paper to start writing on. Stop being a perfectionist. You idiot. Aha, I'm just kidding. Bruh. Okay, thanks, Kaede. Just kidding. Monica scribbles out, you idiot, after she writes it down. No, keep it, because you are an idiot. Fuck you. What? Why? Are you calling me an idiot? Of course not. I like how she was saying that as she was smiling. Are you calling me an idiot? Like that's passive-aggressive or something. But the point is that you're not supposed to police your feelings, right? Be as dramatic as you want. Ahaha. But I was just... Well, yeah. Underneath the scribble, Monica rewrites, you idiot. She stares at the paper. Her words stare back at her. It's kind of funny how I wrote down what I'm mad at myself for, and then I did the exact same thing anyway. This is really gonna take some getting used to. I believe in you. Thanks. I do too. Me, I mean. But also you, of course. Ehehehe. Monica continues to exercise jotting down her thoughts. It's surprisingly quite a struggle to write without overthinking it. But after a while, with Sayori's guidance and encouragement, Monica's sheet of paper begins to look fairly lively, peppered with all of her random thoughts. Phew! Monica looks up and down at her sheet. Gosh, I feel so tense looking at this. I hate it, but it's also kind of liberating. How can you tell so hard? I can tell how hard you're trying. It makes me happy. I think you'll be good at writing poems. Don't give me too much credit. I'd have to try really hard at it. I cannot read for the life of me. But I think it's something that I'll enjoy doing. With you. Sayori beams. I'll just stop here, but we'll still have time. Let's try to work on a new flyer for the club. I won't be picky about the language. Yay, let's do it. Monica and Sayori proceed with their work. With each passing day, the two of them become more confident in the club, not simply from their recruitment planning, but from their vision as well. As their bond strengthens, so does the essence of the literature club. Finally, they begin to truly feel it's only a matter of time before they find more members. Only 2 more. Actually, well, 3 more, my bad. Because of the main protagonist. But that's not a lot. It's like 5 people. Anyway. Another day passes. As usual, Monica is the first one in the club room. With her is a printout to the revised literature club flyer. Oh, I forgot you could right click and everything disappears. Revised literature club flyer, complete with all new ideas Monica and Sayori came up with. If only this was the flyer we gave to that one reading... Oh my gosh, if only this was the flyer we gave to that one reading girl the other day. It's so much more attractive than the old me. But the new catchphrase is featured clearly in the center of the flyer. Write the way into your heart. Surely common sense. Would you say that one writes from the heart and not into the heart? But the message being delivered is that one can use writing to discover themselves. Hopefully, Monica and Sayori had thought that it would be enough to garner some curiosity from students. Why do I feel so tense looking at this? Monica thinks back to the previous meeting when she performed the writing exercise. Was I always this bad at expressing myself? How am I supposed to be a president if I can't even demonstrate what the club is supposed to be about? Literature Club is truly beginning to take form. But with that, the weight of Monica's shoulders only becomes heavier. Debate Club was always about rigid structure, formulating airtight points and counterpoints and delivering them with conviction. It was about the person on the outside. That's why Monica was so good at it. It existed entirely within her realm of comfort. It's suffocating. I need to break through this mental wall. I need to learn to express myself for real. Oh god. I feel like Monica this is kind of what leads to Monica going insane. So, that's kind of what I think. Monica pulls out a sheet of paper and grabs her pen. She presses the tip of the pen firmly against the paper. Excuse me, sorry. But her hand doesn't move. Instead, a tiny blot of ink collects around the tip of her pen. Monica lifts her pen and stares at the little blotch. For some reason, she feels compelled to run her finger across it. As she does so, the black ink smears across the paper, ruining Monica's canvas. Ugh! Out of spite for herself, Monica presses her pen down once again, letting the ink collect. She creates a second smear on the paper. Come on, Monica. Just move your hand. Monica writes. Wow. This is what I get for seeking perfection. A stain. Dude, she totally goes insane trying to write poems, and then she gets all jealous of the others being able to, and then maybe she steals their ideas. That's just my theory of of her poem and shit. I don't know. And then she gets jealous of them, and that's what ends up deleting. I don't know how she becomes self-aware though. That's something I'm actually very interested in. We might find that out eventually though. I have no idea. Monica slides her paper away from her hand and puts her head down on the desk. The air conditioner seems louder today. I'm here. Hi. Monica hears Sayori approach the desk, then stop for a second, probably reading the piece of paper. Then she sits down in the adjacent desk. Bad day? Mm-hmm. Me too. You too? The new flyer looks so good. You've been working so hard. On the club, but also something else, I think. I can't do it. I'm sorry. It's so hard to just be vulnerable. Sayori takes a sheet of paper from Monica's desk. She writes something down and stares at it for a while. Can I trust you? Of course. You can trust me with anything. Yeah, that's a lie. Sayori doesn't seem very, oh my gosh, I can't think. Convinced. Because, yeah, you can't trust her with anything. Sayori gazes at Monica with sadness in her eyes, especially with what happened. Understanding the signal, Monica takes the paper from Sayori's desk and reads it. Sometimes I want to... Holy shnikes. Oh, what? Oh my god. Sayori. Dude, you should go see a therapist for that. Holy crap. You need help. This is really, really hard for me. Her voice shakes. Wow, I thought Monica made her that way. Maybe there is some underlying feelings. Sorry, I didn't read that. Sorry, this is really, really hard for me. Her voice shakes. So if I can do it, then you can too. Because you're like a million times better than me. Oh my god. That's completely not true, and she's crying too. Ugh. Sayori takes a deep breath, trying to steady herself. That's something about me that I've never told anyone before. Even now, my head is like screaming at me to stop. Wait, you don't have to force yourself. I mean, just because of the promise yesterday. I want to. It just feels right. I mean, maybe it's part of the reason I came to this club in the first place. This is the Literature Club. I trust you more than I'm scared. At those words, Monica stands up. Sayori must have taken days to work up the courage for this. Were Monica's own futile but genuine efforts actually the push that Sayori needed? Sayori's deliberate breaths can be heard over the air conditioner. As she prepares herself to continue, Monika waits in gentle silence. I have this problem where I can get really upset when people worry too much about me. I can't control it. It's like, why waste your energy worrying about me when you can just be happy instead? So I never tell anyone about these kinds of thoughts that I have. Wow. That's interesting. She really kind of sort of does feel that way, and I think that maybe Monika pushes her over the edge later on. It's so much easier to just smile and help everyone else be happy. But that's terrible. That's what Monika wants to say, but she stops in fear of saying the wrong thing. It's just that if everyone knew about it, they wouldn't treat me the same anymore. Like whenever I'm not smiling, everyone would worry about me and ask me what's wrong. Dude, I wonder when Sayori actually becomes friends with the main character. I know that, because it used to be like that. Sayori pauses, seeming to recall something in the past. I just want everyone to be happy. That's the most important thing to me. And letting people look inside my head doesn't bring happiness to anyone. Sayori pauses again, her solemn expression making her look almost like an entirely different person. How did you find the courage to tell me this? You're not worried that I'll be one of those people too? I am worried. Part of me really hates myself for doing this, but another part of me, I think, just felt like it would be different this time. Whenever we talk about what the club is supposed to mean, I kept feeling like it was right for me to do, especially after you've been trying so hard to express yourself too. It just made me feel like I could say it in confidence, and our friendship doesn't have to change. It's I don't know why, it's actually really sad to think about because of like what happens to Sayori later on and what Monika does to all her friends, especially Sayori. Like, Jesus, it's really sad to think about. Like, Sayori trusts her with her life pretty much to like not tell anyone, and she like trusts her, and Monika throws that trust away very quickly too once she meets the main protagonist, like the main character. Like the guy who comes into the club. It's so silly. The club is only 2 people, but it already means so much to me. Monika feels a tightening sensation in her heart, a feeling of connection as Sayori's emotions radiate between them. Me too. I was so lost until you showed up. You're so brave, Sayori. You're so strong and brave, I don't even compare. Monika steps forward. But, if nothing else, I can at least offer you some hug energy. If you'd like. Wow. That's new. Wordlessly and without a smile, Sayori rests her forehead on Monika's shoulder. Let's just take a moment to appreciate all the work that went into this. Also, there's a little rip in that curtain there. Anyway, besides that, I hate getting emotional about games, dude. It's just stupid. I mean, it's okay to be emotional. I get it. It's like a movie or something. Especially DDLC, dude. I've said I hate this game, but it always just hits me a little bit, and I hate to admit that. Alright, wordlessly and without a smile, Sayori rests her forehead on Monika's shoulder. Through their contact, Monika can almost feel the torrent of thoughts swimming in Sayori's head. And in this moment, enchanted by the air of the club, Monika realizes that all the days that have passed, this is the one where she really, really hopes that nobody new walks through the door. Oh, really? She speaks softly. Interesting. That was an interesting line. You're like the sweetest girl I've ever met. You can say anything, I'll never judge you. I promise. Sayori's breath begins to quiver. She takes several deep breaths, trying as hard as she can to start speaking, to say the things she never once dared to say out loud. Finally, she speaks in a choked voice. I'm so worthless. I'm so worthless. Oh shit, I clicked, sorry. I am worthless and everyone would be better off without me. She suppresses a sob as a tear falls down her cheek. I'm just an inconvenience to everyone. I'm not good at anything, and it just feels like everyone just has to put up with me, and I hate it. I hate it. The more Sayori speaks, the more she fails to control her voice, falling victim to the overwhelming sadness clutching at her throat and chest. I don't want to have these thoughts. I want them to go away, and now I'm making you put up with me, and I just want to die. Oh, God. As soon as Sayori loses her composure, Monica becomes determined to keep her own. This is why I like Monica so much. She's such an interesting character, but I don't quite understand her. And I think that that's what these side stories are going to be teaching us, like, or showing us, is they're going to be showing us, like, how Monica becomes the way she becomes. I don't know yet. It's really interesting why. Anyway. As soon as Sayori loses her composure, Monica becomes determined to keep her own. She only wants to be what Sayori needs right now. So, she won't let any sadness show. Her voice comes through as soft and gentle. This isn't putting up with you. It's just being your friend. Monica offers her words of comfort, a few words of comfort. But she knows, Sayori said it herself, that she thought Sayori experiences are ones that don't belong. And Monica can't magically make them go away. The most she can do is help Sayori battle them, like any good friend would do. You have so much value. To me, and your other friends too. This club wouldn't have been the same without you. I really, really mean that. This is good music too. I like it. It's actually really sad. You coming here was the best thing that ever happened. Even if we never got any other members, I would still be happy. That's what you brought here. You brought us a vision, and you also brought happiness. And that's your favorite thing to do, right? Sayori doesn't respond, but Monica feels her gently nod. No more words are needed between them. The two share their embrace for a while longer, Monica letting Sayori take as much time as she needs. Once her breath steadies and her sniffles fully cease, Sayori lifts her head and wipes her eyes. I guess I needed that. Some days are harder than others. Well, I'm here whenever you need me. But any other time, I'll make sure that things are the way they usually are. If that's what makes you happy. Thanks. You're the best. No, you are. The two exchange smiles. You know, I'm sorry to bring this up all of a sudden, but have you considered talking to a professional? Sayori nods. It's scary. Since it's already so hard to tell people. Yeah. Well, of course will always be your choice, but if you're ever looking to find courage for it, I can do my best to help you. Thanks. I think it helps knowing that you would. Sayori suddenly yawns and stretches. Wow, that made me tired. Monica, you're not fooling anyone, by the way. And hungry. Ahaha! Well, I won't make you do any work today if you're not up for it. No, I want to. I mean, I can say that it's definitely one thing that makes me happy. Monica smiles. But I think I want to get a snack first. All of a sudden, the sound of the door causes the two of them to turn their heads. Door opens halfway, then stops. A face peeks inside. A face that seems familiar. Oh! Is it... Oh, sorry, my camera just... Is it who I think it is? It's either Natsuki or Yuri. I don't know, actually. It might be Yuri because she's the one who's, like, quiet and stuff and has her face buried in a book all the time and she ignores people a lot. Yeah, it's Yuri. It's gotta be. Anyway, that was actually really quick, too. It was really nice and wholesome. That's the end of Trust. And I've unlocked, like, all the other ones. I hear there's, like, a secret one at the end once I beat them all, but anyway, yeah. As I said last episode, I've been trying to save, this is a side note, I've been trying to save money for college, and, I need help financially, and, I'll leave the link in the description below, for my GoFundMe. I'm trying to raise $6,000 for my next year. I'm good for this year, I'm pretty sure, but yeah, I'm going to be going to college very soon, and if you guys could donate any money or spread the word, that would be very helpful. You could copy the link and send it. That'd be awesome. If not, I understand. I just appreciate the support. Yeah, so yeah. Also, yeah, I'm excited for the next side story. These side stories are pretty quick, but they're not, like, that quick. They're about 20, 30 minutes each. That's not bad. That's a good length. Anyway, yeah, sorry. I keep jumping back and forth. I hope that you guys enjoyed this very wholesome video episode. Very sad, but it's nice. The whole bond between Sayori and Monica is kind of nice. I kind of like that. Yeah, it's very interesting. They've got like a bond with everyone, I'm pretty sure. Huh. Yeah, the whole bond between Monica and Sayori is pretty cool. I don't know. If you yeah, leave comments down below and tell me what you thought about that. That whole story. I know my commentary is not the best. It's hard. I think once Natsuki comes in, or once Yuri comes in, hopefully next episode it'll be a little funnier. I don't know. Hopefully. It's just really sad and touching, and I hope that it's a little bit more lighthearted next episode. I don't know if that's a word. Yeah. Anyway, hope you liked the video. Comment down below, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next adventure of Nolan's Ark. Bye.